Hello everyone, welcome back to another Dice Throne talk here, and today we are going to be talking about the Rerolled Dice Throne Barbarian. And what we're going to do, instead of like doing a unboxing like a lot of people have in the past, what I'm going to do is going to show you all what it looks like, how the sleeved cards fit, differences between the original Barbarian and the Rerolled Barbarian. If you haven't already, go ahead and check out a video I did in the past here recently, and that was the differences of the boards between the original Season 1 heroes and the Rerolled heroes for Dice Throne, not including the Treant and the Ninja, because they were not in the original box. So without further ado, we'll get right into it here. And it's really nice. I like this style tray. Keep everything really nice and compact. It is fantastic. So here is the board. Fantastic artwork per usual. Next we have the leaflet. And here's the old leaflet to give you an idea. So the new one is slimmer, but for good reason. A little bit more detail or artwork as well. You can see that in the old one, there's a little bit more summary about it. And same icons. And then on the back, you have nothing. But here, you have all of this information, which is fantastic. Complexity level is going to be a 1. Weapon of choice, just for a little lore, is anything that goes chop or smash, which is fantastic. A little bio, the Barbarian is the most elegant hero around. He loves to smash things. He's known for hitting his opponents so hard they are left stunned and concussed. His endless barrage of heavy hitting attacks shows that even the most simple fighting style can be deadly, which is slightly different from the old one. So no information to know when you start a game. All the components are down here just to make sure that you have all of the components, and some frequently asked questions to the side. So fantastic leaflet overall. So this is what the tray looks like, and what I had to do is separate a little bit between the sleeved cards. You have the dice right here. A little bit of a swirl on them. Fantastic. I love it a lot. Very nice dice to have. And with the dice tray, wow, that was fantastic. So, can we get an ultimate? Let's see, one more. Okay, so you just saw that. Just rolled for an ultimate for you, Manny, and anyone else out there. So that's fantastic. You have your 2 concuss icons or tokens along with the stun. For here, you have our combat points and our health dial. And on the back is nothing, as well as that. Just for a comparison, this is what the old one looks like. So pretty much the same, just adding the CP icon there as well. And then for the health dial, so they brought the picture out a little bit more to bring in more of his hammer rather than just his face. So fantastic overall. Whoops, I almost dropped it. So that can just go right back in there. Fantastic. And then over here, we have majority of his cards. These are the Barbarian sleeves. And these are what some of the cards look like that are specifically for the Barbarian. And then you get into the normal cards that every hero will have. And then over here is, so what I've done is I have pretty much all the upgrades on this side, but as you mix your cards, it may be some over here, some over there. And then I have my turn order at the bottom of these sleeved cards. And then what I have here are unsleeved sleeves, or just sleeves without any cards in them. And that's how many I have here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I think I miscounted. It should be 18 because there should be, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So I have 17. Oh, probably because the 18th one I was thinking of is going to be the promo card. So that's why there is not 18. But the reason why is because it has to up to 50. You can not have more than 50 cards in your deck, such as for Dice Throne Adventures. So I just throw those on the bottom, and then I throw, this is kind of like my separator right there. I don't sleeve it because I need the sleeves for the actual cards themselves. For differences for the cards between the re-rolled and the original, I only found a couple differences, and that is going to be Sturdy Blow 3. I'm going to zoom in here, and Overpowered. So this is what the differences are, and pretty much, let's see if I can. So for Sturdy Blow 3, instead of 3 CP, it's going to be 2 CP. And then for Overpower 2, the roll value is at least 9. They have upped it to 10. So that is the differences that I noticed between the two cards. Everything else is the same as the original. Just to give you an idea of what they look like here. I'll go through these a little quickly just because you will be able to see or be able to pause it as you want. Awesome. So there's that. And so these will just nice and neatly go right back in here and put the dice right here. I'm going to zoom right back out here again. Awesome. And the board itself is right here. I'm going to see if I can get away from that glare a little bit. So go ahead, if you haven't already, check out the old video or the older video that has the differences between the Barbarian, old and new, if they were any. Sorry, Caesar sees a dog outside, I think. I'm going to let him out real quick, just so he can have his fun out there. Sorry about that. So the way I like to play the Barbarian is, if you notice, he has 2 6s here, 2 6s here. He likes the 6s here. Obviously, the ultimate is 6s. And then you may be able to use a 6 for the small and the large straight. So if I roll here, and okay, so I have 2 6s and 2 swords and a 5. I am not worried. So I know I can get Sturdy Blow. I'm very close to Overpower. But maybe I want to go really big and try to go for the mini ultimate or the ultimate itself. I'm fine with rolling these 3 dice again, because the likelihood of rolling swords is a 50-50 chance, and it's only my first roll. So if I roll again, okay, so I rolled a sword on 4 and 5. Let's see if I can get my swords back here, and I do. And now I have Overpower, rolling 3 dice, and it's a 1, 2, and a 3, so that's a really bad roll overall. But if you had, let's say, a twice as wild, so wild tippet, 6s, samesies, anything like that, to help out those dice, to make it as powerful as you can. It'll be even more powerful than your ultimate ability, which is 15 damage. You can get up to 18 with just this, plus any attack modifiers from your cards. So if I were to do this again here, and I like to do this a lot, so I have 1 6 right here, 4 swords. I'm going to roll all 4 swords because I'm not afraid of anything else. So there's my other 6. So I have my 2 swords right here. So I now have Sturdy Blow, which is 4 undefendable. Boom, another Overpower. Let's see if I can get a higher number this time around. Boom, That's a 12. And at least 14 is concussion, but if I upgraded, if you remembered, it was 10. So even if I don't have any cards in my hand, I'm still perfectly fine to rolling. Whoops, sorry about that. Oops, see if I can get a sword here. I do, see? And that is 3 overpowers in a row. And that is a 6, 7 damage overpower. So think of it at the average that you should be rolling it. If you're rolling 3 dice, should be 9. And so if you roll less than 9, you're rolling a little bit lower than average. If you're rolling more than 9, you're rolling above average. So, whoops, I suppose I should roll all my dice here. So now I have 2, 3, and a 4. And now I'm in good leagues for a straight here. If I wanted to, I could go for some fortitude, for some health. But let's go ahead and try to get that straight, which we do. Small straight, dealing 9 damage. So as you can tell, needing cards for this hero is not really needed to modify your dice. So I could either, if I need to, go for fortitude, or, whoops, trying to go for another attack. Okay, so even if I didn't roll the sword, I still have sturdy blow. But as I was saying, you don't need cards to modify your dice as much as you can use it to modify your opponent's dice, which causes them to whiff. Or maybe if you're playing against, let's say, Ninja or Shadow Thief, keeping them from getting the smoke bombs or going into shadows. Maybe you don't want Moon Elf to go double feet and having your damage. You can modify their dice so that your attacks are hitting harder every single time, because you have confidence that you can always come out with something. So there's a small straight right there. If I can keep my dice in here, so there's a large straight right there as well. A couple FAQ stuff, just so people are aware of how maybe these status effects work. So concussion, I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. A player afflicted with this token must skip their income phase and then remove this token. So what'll happen is if I inflict concuss onto somebody, that person has pretty much until the end of the player's turn to, or their opponent's turn, to get rid of that concussion. So a bye-bye or a cleanse would pretty much be the only ways to get rid of this status effect prior to your upkeep phase starting. Because if you do not remember, the upkeep phase is the first thing that happens. So you need to activate that bye-bye or what have you during the discard phase, not even the main phase, but the discard phase or main phase 2, what have you, to get rid of that concussion so you can still draw and gain your CP. Or, I'm sorry, income phase is right here. So I was talking about the upkeep phase, but income phase, that's what it skips, is your income phase. So you can do it during the upkeep phase as well. The bye-bye or cleanses, what have you, as well. But you could not use a transference. You could not use what status effects. You cannot use get that out of here, because those are all main phase 1 cards, which is past your income phase. Stun pretty much acts, it gives the attack the ability of an ultimate attack in terms of the person that is stunned cannot do anything. Literally anything. No cards can be played, no defense may be made, no status tokens or passive abilities may be used. After the attack concludes, the player who inflicted the stun removes the token and then immediately targets the same opponent with an additional offensive roll phase, meaning 3 more rolls. So if I were to, let's say, do crit bash, inflict stun, and then deal 5 undefendable. So I would deal 5 undefendable damage and then do another offensive roll phase. So if you can stun lock somebody, that would be very effective overall. I'm going to let Caesar in here. So that is the Barbarian, and that is how his status effects tokens work. Let me know what you think of this video. I'll probably keep on doing, whoops, sorry if you hear the squeaking. Caesar has found the monkey. And let me know what you think in the comments below if you have anything else that you'd like to include for the Barbarian. However, I just want to give a nice overview of how the Barbarian works. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.